right now.
And we begin with another development in the ongoing issues for the Children's Shelter of San Antonio. The Texas Department of Family and Protective Services has terminated its contract with the shelter, which allowed children in foster care to be housed there. If that sounds familiar, it was back in May when DFPS ended a contract with the Children's Shelter to house any kids at its emergency shelter.
Staff was laid off. The facility had to find placements for the children that were staying there. According to the state, this latest contract termination was done, quote, for convenience, end quote. It does not impact any kids directly because none have been staying at that facility for months. Back in the spring, the DFPS commissioner told the shelter leadership that the situation there was unacceptable and threatened the safety of children.
And this afternoon, the shelter said that it is still operating its programs, including foster care and adoptions programs. We're still asking questions about what this means for the future of the shelter, and we'll continue to follow it.
The domestic violence rate is at epidemic levels, shattering lives, leaving children without parents. Those words from advocates here in San Antonio. Organizations
tackling this issue, talking strategy to save lives during today's State of Domestic Violence event.
Tiffany Huertas on that strategy and the message from a domestic violence survivor for anyone going through a similar situation.
Then came the strangulation to where I blacked out, and then being stabbed, and then being bitten.
Elizabeth Regino remembers what her life was like when she was in a domestic violence relationship.
Everything that you can think of when it comes to domestic violence, I endured.
Regino says it was difficult to escape, but she eventually did, and says the battered women and children's shelter saved her life.
They saved my life because my abuser was still on the run for 4 months and looking for me. And they gave me a safe haven.
In 2019, the battered women and children's shelter served 1,519 survivors. In Bexar County, 1 in 3 women will be affected by domestic violence. Martha Pelaez with Family Violence Prevention Services says there are many resources they offer and they can't address this issue alone.
We need the entire community engaged in making sure that they know what the signs are, that they know what a safety plan is, and that they know where to go.
2/3 of victims of domestic violence are children.
3 children per mother. If those 3 children that do not come to us are not properly intervened and continue to live in abusive situations, in an abusive home.
Regino says for those in a domestic violence situation,
don't give up, because there's life after, and it's so beautiful.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
To contact the Family Violence Prevention Services, the crisis hotline is on our screen right now, 210-733-8810.
A chilling story for anyone who exercises outside. A woman says that she was kidnapped at gunpoint and sexually assaulted by a man while jogging near Brackenridge Park. As Katrina Weber reports, San Antonio police have arrested the man who they believe is responsible.
The cooler weather seems to be calling people outdoors, but San Antonio police say a 20-year-old woman's morning of running trails near Brackenridge Park became a nightmare. She told them she was attacked around 9 a.m. Monday near Mulberry and Avenue A, forced into a car by a man with a gun, then taken to his home where she was sexually assaulted. Police believe that man was 29-year-old Brandon Alexander Garcia, who they arrested yesterday.
Kind of shocked.
Jim Swindell makes sure he's always with his companion on walks through the park, but has seen women going it alone.
Probably not a good idea, but you would think in broad daylight it would be okay.
I said I run here 2 or 3 times a week by myself, and that is my track.
After hearing the news, Margaret Knusik will make changes.
It's never happened in the park before that I know of, but it'll certainly make me stick to more busy trails and things.
Just the idea of an attack in or near this park alone came as a surprise to most of the people who we talked to. But they say what's even more shocking is that it happened in broad daylight, a sign of a bold criminal. Police say after the attack, Garcia found out where the woman lived and took her home. They say surveillance cameras there provided them with valuable clues. During his arrest, Garcia temporarily got away by slipping out of his handcuffs, but police caught up with him at his home. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
The vaccine mandate for staff at San Antonio Independent School District is not going away. at least not for now. That a requirement upheld by a Bexar County judge ruling against a temporary injunction request from the state. The state attorney general's office plans to appeal the decision. SAISD's vaccine mandate takes effect October 15th unless that appeal changes it. You can find more on the ruling on KSAT.com.
Customers with a past due CPS Energy account could see their services disconnected beginning today. Not everyone will be disconnected immediately, though. The utility says it will first focus on those residential customers who haven't paid anything in 12 months. Customers who can't pay the full amount asked to call and set up a payment plan so they can keep the lights on. Back in March of 2020, utility disconnections were suspended at both CPS Energy and San Antonio Water System. SAWS is in the process of sending out final notices to its customers who aren't already on a payment plan. They'll have 2 to 3 weeks after receiving that notice before their water is shut off.
San Antonio police looking for a suspect they say assaulted a dollar store employee before taking off with her stolen goods earlier this week. According to officers, she walked into the Dollar General store near Highway 90 and West Military Drive on Monday. They say she grabbed several items, stuffed them into a backpack. When she tried to leave, she was confronted by a store manager. According to officers, that suspect assaulted that manager and ran off. Anyone who can help police track this person down is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP.
10 years ago today, downtown San Antonio saw its largest fire in recent history. It was at the historic Wolfson building right across from Main Plaza. Several businesses in the building destroyed after an outdoor barbecue pit was left going overnight. Jesse DeGollado now with a story of a family with reason to be grateful a decade later.
The raging four-alarm fire at the historic Wolfson building, for those who saw it, seemed unbelievable.
And it was something out of a movie. It was insane. Everything was gone.
Shooting cell phone video of the massive fire was one thing, but for the owner of Poblanos, actually feeling its impact was another for him and his family who were there.
You know, with the flames hitting us, with the ashes, with the soot hitting our clothes and everything.
More so, says Eric Valadez, when the demolition was underway in order to clear the site.
Ticket number 219.
3 months later, Poblanos reopened about a block away, thanks to the generous offer by a former competitor who had his own restaurant here.
Come take over this one here. You know, I'm ready to retire.
Not only is San Fernando Cathedral next door, the Archdiocese is the landlord.
It literally made us closer to God, closer to the church.
10 years later, nothing has replaced Poblanos since the fire. Its owner says, devastating though it was, it failed to destroy what the family values most.
Our customers came back. Our staff that was gone for 3 months, most of them came back.
Valadez says Poblanos wouldn't have survived the fire or made it through the pandemic this long had it not been for all those who were more than willing to help.
We wouldn't be here anymore. We wouldn't be downtown. We'll never be able to pay them back for what they did for us.
Jesse DeGollado, KSAT 12 News.
Health experts calling it a potential twindemic. First, rising cases of COVID fueled by the Delta variant. And now with winter on the horizon, influenza likely on its way. Ursula Perry reports experts warn those flu cases may be particularly serious.
Last winter, we battled COVID with masks, social isolation, and lots of hand washing. Those measures have added benefit of preventing many cases of flu last year. But this year,
much of our immunity to influenza comes from people who had it last year. And a lot of that's gone.
Health policy expert Dr. Mark Roberts and his colleagues ran 2 separate computer analyses, both models predicting a very serious flu season.
The likelihood is that there could be 20% or 30% more cases. The mathematical model that we used said as many as 400,000 extra hospitalizations.
Experts are concerned flu could crush healthcare systems that are already straining to keep up with the demands of COVID. They say the best way to avoid a worst-case scenario is a flu vaccine.
Even though the flu vaccine is not as effective as the COVID vaccine is, it is still effective at preventing serious disease, and it's more effective than not.
According to one model, if 75% of Americans get vaccinated against the flu as compared to 50% in a typical year, many of those additional hospitalizations could be avoided. In San Antonio, we're in pretty good shape. According to Metro Health yesterday, 74% of San Antonians have already received both doses of the vaccine. Nearly 90% have just gotten that first dose. And Dr. Roberts wants to remind you that you can get the flu vaccine and the COVID vaccine without any fear of interaction. In fact, you can get both of them at the same time. Ursula Perry, KSAT 12 News.
Take a look outside with live cam. Look at those big clouds off in the distance. After these last couple of days, of course, we're wondering, is that some more rain headed our way, Katie?
It's not this evening. The clouds have had a hard time producing any rain this afternoon. They got pretty worked over this morning from the heavy rain that was around as we started our Friday. For some of us, it was even before we got out of bed. This morning's rain added up to a little less than a quarter inch of rain at the airport, and we managed to bounce back into the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. Some folks did do better in the rainfall category with those storms late last night, early this morning, especially from Del Rio over to Brackettville, and then in southwestern Uvalde County. Even places like Elmendorf picked up a little bit more than 4 inches of rain early today. As we head into the weekend, we're trimming back rain chances even more tomorrow. Some more isolated activity possible. We'll take a look at radar right now and also discuss that 20% chance of rain on your Saturday coming up, and I'll be able to talk better, guys.
TxDOT is in the planning stages of an expansion project on Loop 1604 in East Bexar County.
Our Samuel King joins us now. Sam, people have about 2 weeks to give their thoughts on this project.
Yeah, a virtual public hearing has started this week, Steve and Myra. TxDOT wanting to expand Loop 1604 from FM 78 to I-10 through parts of San Antonio, Converse, and Universal City. Construction would still be a few years away, but for some drivers that can't come soon enough.
It's a complete parking lot. It's the worst part. If you live in this area, you don't want to even be here.
Johnny Harris has lived in Converse for 40 years, long enough to avoid Loop 1604 at rush hour.
The idea of expanding from FM 78 to I-10 is an excellent idea. It's long overdue.
TxDOT wants to transform that stretch of roadway from a divided highway with several traffic lights to an expressway.
The proposed improvements include you've got the 2 main lanes in each direction divided by the grass median, and then there will be 2 frontage roads with shoulders and sidewalks.
While drivers like Harris are happy.
As the businesses come, the people come, and vice versa, and so does the traffic.
Others are concerned about the impact the construction might have.
This is going to make it a nightmare, and it's already a nightmare for us to get out of the subdivision right now.
Viewpoints TxDOT wants to hear as it finalizes its plans for the project.
Especially those who live and work in the area, because not the construction will be an impact for them on their traveling daily. However, it's just very important so they are in the know of what to expect once the project is completed.
And there is no funding allocated for this project right now, so construction would begin until 2025 at the earliest. Now, this round of public comment lasts until October 15th. We'll have a link at our website, ksat.com. It's available on TxDOT website as well. Taking a look at traffic this evening. This is a Loop 410 at Callahan Road. Traffic flowing a little better than it had been just a few moments ago. Some backups there on Loop 410. So let's take a look at that travel time here. 15 minutes now between I-10 and 151, 7 minutes the other way. Earlier, this was up more than 20 minutes, so that's good news there. Looking at the rest of the area, things are improving, but we are still watching some delays here in Hays County and Comal County on 35. Some more construction expected there this weekend, and we'll have more on that in the next half hour, guys.
So, Sam, I understand you and Myra and I are going to be talking traffic coming up here in the show.
That's right.
Yeah. I'll try and stay in my lane. I'll yield to your expertise.
Okay, one more. What? One more.
I just don't want to be kicked to the curb.
There it is.
There it is.
See, these things come
I was going to say it, but he said it.
Okay. Well, he's always saying it. That's all I know.
Heroes Stadium. What a beautiful Friday night for football.
Yeah, a lot of people wondering, though, about any chances of rain. That's been a question all week, Katie.
Yes, it has been. Even 48 hours ago, we were afraid that tonight's games would be facing some questionable weather, but things are looking really good this evening. I know Greg Simmons is happy. Wednesday, evening he was just having fits, worried about the games this evening. So we're looking pretty good. Let's start with temperatures. A lot of us are in the 80s, so it's warm, especially in the direct sunlight. I filmed rooftop weather this afternoon in the sun. It's still pretty toasty out there. It's also a touch humid. Our dew points are okay. They're near 70 here in San Antonio. They get closer to the mid 70s, down closer to the coast. So overall, it is feeling fairly humid out there. We've had a decent breeze so far today. Our winds are easterly. For now, 5 to 15 miles per hour, but they are going to relax over the next several hours. So if you're getting packed up here at the last minute, ready to head out to a football game, our winds will be about 5 to 10 miles per hour. After the sun goes down, that's when our temperatures for a lot of us will drop into the 70s. Skies partly to mostly cloudy, depending on where you are. In and around Bexar County, we're seeing a decent amount of sunshine, but there is some additional cloud cover, especially down to the southeast, closer to the Gulf Coast. So cloud cover just depends on where you are. As far as rain goes, I can't rule out a tiny little stray shower, but for the overwhelming majority of us, no rain this evening. And in the 5 o'clock, I had zoomed in on this area near LaGrange because that's where the only little teeny tiny shower was, and now that's gone. So very quiet out there this evening, just some lingering cloud cover. Our atmosphere just really wasn't able to rebound after the morning rain and storms that moved through. All of that activity now is moving into Louisiana, down in deep South Texas and into the Gulf of Mexico. So a quiet evening for us. There is some thunderstorm activity building in far west Texas, even into the Panhandle. And as you watch the cloud cover here and the rain, we've got a nice counterclockwise swirl right over northern New Mexico, right over Albuquerque. And this is another piece of rain-making energy or a cutoff low pressure system that was responsible for the heavy rain that we saw earlier in the day today. Watch what happens, though, as we get into tonight and Saturday. This good rain-making energy, the red and the orange, that moves even farther away from us off to the northeast into the central plains. So we'll hang on to a minimal chance of some rain tomorrow. But after that, we settle into a much more quiet weather pattern for next week. No rain-making energy moving in, and rain chances drop out of the forecast essentially for the next 7 to 10 days after tomorrow. So let's talk about the futurecast for tomorrow. Keep in mind, this particular model was overdoing things this evening. It thinks there should be a lot more activity out there currently than what there is. So we'll take that with a bit of a grain of salt. As we head into tomorrow afternoon, we'll have some more mid and high level clouds around, and that's when we'll also see the potential for a few little pop-up showers in non-severe storms, primarily because there will be a weak frontal boundary off to our northwest. That could produce some spotty rain tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, but most of us will get through tomorrow and the whole weekend without any more rain. So just keep that in the back of your mind for your Saturday. Otherwise, a warm day tomorrow, highs mid to upper 80s, light winds out of the east, just 5 miles per hour. We'll hang on to some pretty high humidity the next couple of days, but by late Sunday, certainly by early next week, our dew points will drop again behind a really weak frontal boundary, so we'll get some drier air in place next week, and that sets us up for a really pleasant stretch of weather next week, heading into next weekend. A lot of sunshine, warm afternoons, but with the lower humidity, it'll be pretty comfortable. So if you've got outdoor plans tomorrow, don't forget, low chance of a shower. Just keep the KSAT weather app handy, and we'll keep you updated, guys.
All right. Thank you, Katie.
All right. Sky 12 just flew over Hero Stadium. That's where Greg Simmons is. I looked down there. I thought I saw Greg sunning with like one of those aluminum foil deals.
Just
Myra said
Myra
said she thought she saw him with the metal detector looking for change. But either way, he's very happy to be out and about at Hero Stadium.
Greg, it is a Friday vibe around here.
Yeah.
You know that.
Well, I tell you what, without an umbrella, without a raincoat, it is just great weather for football. In fact, the both teams have just left the field here after their pregame warm-ups. The Madison band is in the stands getting warmed up. We're ready for some high school football on a Friday night. When we come back, we're going to focus on our big game coverage road trip, where one school has a chance to match a major milestone. And how about those Astros? They clinch. Coming up. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome live to Hero Stadium for the big game and our big game coverage tonight. Madison and against Reagan with major playoff implications in this district. We brought you a preview of this big game at 5. We're going to focus on our big game coverage road trip right now, where one school has a chance at a major milestone. Our big game coverage road trip begins in Lido, where photographer Eddie Latigo will see if the Pirates can upset the 12th-ranked Poteet Aggies. And it's down in Natalia, where the 10th-ranked Mustangs host Stockdale. Finally over to Jordanton to see if the Indians can shock number 2 ranked and undefeated Marion. Let's kick off our big game coverage road trip with the Poteet Aggies, who are 4-1 overall this season, 1-0 in district. That's after wins against Bandera, Crystal City, and Manor New Tech in a non-district competition, with their only loss to Lake Belton in week 3. But they opened district play last week with a dominating 41-6 victory over Cole. Now they face winless Lytle tonight in a 7:30 kickoff.
It's an important game. I mean, we're 1-0 in district, and I mean, hoping to make it 2-0.
It's very exciting. We came into this year strong, and we're expecting to do big things this year.
We jumped on them big last week. It was 21-0 in the first quarter, and we hope to do the same, carry it over. Same thing we've been doing week in and week out.
Our big game coverage road trip will also include the Marion Bulldogs, and they attempt to match a major milestone in school history. Their 6th win in a row to kick off the season, just like the 1982 team. The Bulldogs are already 5-0 with wins over Austin Hyde Park, Goliad, Comfort, Hondo, and kicking off district play with a 56-0 rout of Lytle. The Bulldogs are averaging almost 47 points a game, but the Indians' record of 2-3 is somewhat deceiving. All 3 of their losses were non-district games to start the season, and now they have won back-to-back games, including their district opener against Cotulla, 39-16.
They're run heavy this year. They've been pass heavy in the past, and I know they lost a lot of kids, but they're going to be good, and I think we're ready.
Came off a little bit of a tough year last year, but we had played some good teams in non-district. I think it really got us ready for our district, and went 1-0 last week in district, and we're getting ready for Jordanton.
All right, like the Marion Bulldogs, the UTSA Roadrunners will be looking to tie a school record for the most wins to start a season at 5-0, starting against winless UNLV this Saturday in the Dome. Now, this is the first ever meeting between these two schools. The Roadrunners coming off their biggest comeback in school history after being down 21-0, only to beat Memphis on the road 31-28 on Hunter Duplessis' game-winning 42-yard field goal as time expired, while the Rebels are coming off a 38-30 loss to Fresno State last Friday night to drop to 0-4, even though the Roadrunners will tell you that's fool's gold because that's a tough schedule. Roadrunners have been very vocal about fan support and on the road at home as well. What does that mean to the team?
It means everything. Last year, being the COVID year when Coach Schrader first got here, we had the Pillar Killers, and of course we still have the Pillar Killers. But knowing that the city of San Antonio is behind us, much like we're behind them, and we want to be a part of San Antonio, like it's right here. Like we love San Antonio, and having them there is so much support. We love it.
Alrighty, don't forget, kickoff is at 5 p.m. in the Dome, and KSAT 12 Sports will be there. Hope you will too. And congratulations to the Houston Astros who clinched the AL West last night by beating the Rays 3-2, prompting manager Dusty Baker to drink champagne out of a cleat. You don't see that every day. Next up, they face the White Sox in the ALDS starting on Thursday. Now we're going to take you live from Hero Stadium. We're going to take you crosstown to Alamo Stadium. That's where I have our David Sears and RJ Marquez standing by. You know what, guys? I learned something tonight. They actually have food trucks at games at Hero Stadium. Mark and I dined on shrimp tonight.
Yes.
When's the last time you went to a high school football game and had shrimp?
Public address sound system.
Last week when we were at Heroes.
You know what? Mark Mendez, 2 weeks in a row, has been taking care of that shrimp out there at Hero Stadium.
Well, the guy in the stands has gained about 10 pounds is Mark Mendez because he keeps eating all the shrimp from the shrimp truck out there. It's good stuff, too. So. Tonight we are here at the historic Alamo Stadium. This is one of the best places in the entire state of Texas to watch a football game. So Billy's just kind of going to swing around, and you're going to look at Breckenridge, and you're going to look at Sam Houston warming up for a big game tonight.
Yeah, definitely. The Breckenridge Eagles, one of the better teams in the district. Sam Houston trying to stay in the playoff race as well. But Breckenridge, again, very strong team coming in here as we get set for this game at the Rock Pile.
All right, Billy, I want you to turn real quick. We got about 10 seconds, Billy, so we're going to go fast. I want you guys to look at this. Myra, Steve, senior sack. Texas Tech University. He went to Jefferson too, so that covers two of them right there.
Wow.
That covers Tech and it covers Jefferson.
He had to get his Tech plug in there, we're streaming on KSAT.com, doing a pregame party situation out here, so back to you guys.
All right.
Looks like fun.
BGC, baby.
There you go. Thanks, guys.
Our KSAT Q&A is up next.
It is something that has been set up at Trinity University that seems unique. The Trinity he's the Distinguished Professor of Practice and Political Science at Trinity University. He's also involved in something called the Loft Institute of Hispanic Heritage. Juan Sepulveda joins us. Juan, I'm very interested in what Loft is, what it stands for, and why you decided, you know what, we need to do this.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, and thanks for kind of having me. So this is the second national program that Trinity University is doing in conjunction with the Hispanic Heritage Foundation. And what the Loft Leadership Institute is Latinos on the Fast Track. That's Loft, the Loft Leadership Institute. The Hispanic Heritage Foundation for more than 20 years has had a National Youth Awards program. So last year was their 22nd year. They had more than 32,000 applicants. These are the top Latino high school students in the country. And they make awards across 9 different categories, different kind of sectors of places where the students are potentially going to go into their careers. Education, engineering, entrepreneurship, finance and business, healthcare and science, media and entertainment, public service, social justice, and technology. And so what has happened in the past is that students get named as award winners, but that was all, which is fantastic. But so what we decided to do working with Hispanic Heritage Foundation was to take it to the next step. Beyond just naming, there's 270 winners of the 32,000 plus applicants from across the country. These are the top Latino high school students in the country. What we thought the next step was that they needed to be connected to each other, to do relationship building, to do community building with each other, because they're all stars. So it's great for them to be networked with each other. Each one of the categories is sponsored by a corporation or a national nonprofit. So we knew it was important for them to get connected to those entities as well, to do some professional networking. And we also knew it was important for them to get to know their sector better. What does it mean to do technology? What does it mean to be in the engineering field? What does it mean to be in healthcare, for example, or media and entertainment? So we wanted them also to be kind of taking a deeper dive into their sectors. This is the second program we've done. So in addition to Loft, we've also done the Dream Lead Institute, which is really around young, professional, undocumented leaders from around the country. And both of these programs have kind of the same aim, is that's to kind of help accelerate them, literally getting them on the fast track to continue to play the leadership roles that they already have in their communities, and to really kind of help the country to tackle some of the toughest problems we've had. And I think the reason that we really wanted to do these pieces was that we saw that there was a gap. There was no one else who was kind of doing these pieces, really kind of connecting these students. And the final thing we do is we connect them across the 9 sectors and have them kind of lead. What do you think are the most important issues? So instead of adults or other folks kind of saying, here's the agenda for you, we brought the 9 sectors together as the final session together in an open space format where they kind of named the topics, led the sessions, and really talked about next steps and things that they're planning to do to try to tackle what they see as some of the toughest problems in the country.
This sounds like an incredible opportunity for the students who get to take part in both of these programs. Can you talk about perhaps the impact to their home communities or wherever they decide to go forward and take their skills that they're learning and making these different networking connections? What does it mean for the communities in which they work and live?
Now, that's a great question. And part of it is that we see them, I think what's a little bit different about these programs is we don't see them as potential leaders or is it they're going to be leaders in the future. We know that they're leaders already in their communities. So they're already doing great stuff. They're getting recognized in their communities. But by adding this new leadership institute, we know it's taking it to the next step. And it's not just them isolated, but now it's them connecting across the country to be able to think about how do we want to tackle these different issues that our community is facing, and how do we do it together so that we can take it back to our own backyards, but also kind of just spread it across the country. And so we've seen them already. Part of it is they get a grant to do that. They literally get a small amount of money that they can then use to work together on some of these community-based projects. So we're seeing them as they're moving into those planning stages to then kind of really go back home and tackle what they see as the toughest issues in their backyards.
Juan, I know that we've talked before. I'm familiar with your background. You are a Hispanic leader. I mean, you have worked in political circles at the highest level for President Obama. What do these programs and what is happening at Trinity University mean to you personally?
It means everything, right? That's kind of why I'm here at Trinity. And that's why I feel really lucky to be working with our president, Danny Anderson, who brought me here to do this. So it's a personal thing for me. I wish I would have had some of these programs when I was growing up. I was lucky to get my own connections along the way. We want to speed it up. And so we feel fortunate to be able to do that. And what I also love is that with us and the Hispanic Heritage Foundation, we're able to tap our networks. So as we're connecting the folks in their sectors, we're talking to people who are some of the highest folks in the Biden administration currently, the people who are the tops with their different companies, Nike, TikTok, BP on the engineering side, T-Mobile on technology side. So to be able to do that stuff is just something that we knew was missing and we all thought was really important to have. And so for me, I mean, that's the reason why I'm here. And I love that I get to do that as my job.
So let's say there's a young Juan Sepulveda sitting at home saying, I want to do some of these things. How can somebody at home watching right now get involved?
So the timing is perfect, right? So right now, the Hispanic Heritage Foundation is kind of taking applications for the next year of their Youth Award program. So if you're a high school student right now and you're interested in wanting to be a part of this community, you can apply right now. We're going to go through the same process. I'm sure we're probably going to have even larger numbers this year. Like I mentioned, more than 32,000 students last year. And so we'd love to see students kind of get it. I want to see folks here from San Antonio and from in our backyard. And we've had a number of folks from San Antonio who were in the program this summer. So I really want to see them be part of it and not only be getting recognized for what they're doing in their communities, but to be connected with these other folks, other like-minded folks from around the country so that they can have those networks right now and keep the great work going that they're doing already.
Great work and a great opportunity. Thanks so much, Juan, for being here with us. Trinity professor, doing some wonderful things there at that university.
Yeah, the Loft Leadership Institute at Trinity University, if you're looking for how to get information. Mr. Sepulveda, always a pleasure. Have a good weekend.
You guys too. Thanks a lot.
We'll be right back. It is something that is on the top of the mind for so many of us. Traffic. It's where we get our headaches. It's where we get from place to place. So what is happening traffic-wise in San Antonio? It is the latest subject of KSAT Explains.
That's right. And Samuel King, of course, in charge of our traffic authority coverage, was part of this episode for KSAT Explains. We're talking about the questions we all have. What's going to ease this congestion? What projects are on the books right now? But there are some concerns that go along with these projects.
Yeah, along with having the concerns about congestion and traffic and how we're going to improve it, there are all the concerns about the effect that highway expansion does have on the environment. So in the KSAT Explains episode that's out this week, we do go into that very question, specifically about water quality in the aquifer. The Greater Edwards Aquifer Alliance has long had concerns about highway construction in that area, and this would be a major expansion on Loop 1604. Also look at Highway 35 or I-35 on the northeast side as well. It's a little bit of a different sort of concern in project there, still being formed. So we take a look at that project as well. And a lot of commuters in that area saying it's long overdue when it comes to that.
And Sam, you moved here from Austin, so I know that you're well aware of the traffic problems on I-35.
Yes.
Is that part of what's going to be addressed, or that DPS and others are looking at, DOT looking at?
Right, because you have several projects on 35. You have 35 in Austin, you have 35 San Marcos, you have what's going to be happening in Bexar County and Guadalupe County, Comal County here over the next 4 to 5 years. So that's something we do get into. That project's supposed to kick off next year. We're told it's going to be disruptions in the short term, in the long term. And I guess one thing before we wrap this up here is this going to fix the problem?
Yes.
And there's a big debate over whether it fixes the problem. And we get into that in the episode as well.
Is expanding the highway really the answer to ease congestion, or is that just creating more problems along the way? So you can check out this episode right now. KSAT Explains What's Driving Highways. You can check it out on demand anytime at your convenience, ksat.com/explains, or on the KSAT TV app. We'll be right back.
All right, speaking of traffic and construction and projects, we have a few to talk about this evening here. There we go. Let's move. We have one more night this week of the lane closures, alternating lane closures between Bandera and Hausman on Loop 1604 on the northwest side, part of that big project there. Going to go over to the northeast side here. This is drilling and geotechnical work, according to TxDOT on I-35. We're just talking about major projects expected on I-35, and there's going to be a long stretch here, a long list of closures here on 35 in terms of ramps and lane closures beginning Sunday night. We'll have that list for you, a link to that list for you on KSAT.com. A little too much to get into, but just wanted to give you a heads up. Had a crash earlier today on the Fine Silver Curve. There's going to be a 1-lane closure here on Sunday night, so watch out for that. And beginning Monday, again, we'll take you back here to 1604 Hausman to Kyle Seal. The eastbound lanes will be closed for 2 weeks for utility work. Again, that begins Monday. Watching this here, 281 at the quarry, car off the road, guys.
Thank you, Samuel. All right, so teeny tiny shower is what she was describing earlier. So teeny tiny, they were gone.
Yes, they're gone. There were a few that tried to get going late this afternoon, but our atmosphere just kind of got wrung out this morning. Didn't have a whole lot to work with this afternoon, so we didn't see really any redevelopment of rain second half of the day, but that means a good Friday night football forecast. We do like that. So we've been really distracted this week, rightfully so, with our forecast here at home. Not a whole lot of talk about the tropics, but there are 2 systems out there. A major Category 4 hurricane. Hurricane Sam is going to move just east of Bermuda in the open Atlantic. This is a big time hurricane, but it will miss Bermuda to the east. We've also got a new tropical storm, Tropical Storm Victor, also out over the open Atlantic. Neither of these tropical systems are expected to impact the U.S. coastline. That is good news, but we have rapidly run through our list of tropical cyclone names for this season. We're just left with Wanda. And if you'll recall, last year, the same thing happened and we had to go to the Greek alphabet for names. If we get past Wanda this season, we're not going to use the Greek alphabet this year. We're going to go to another list of English names. And I don't have that list on a graphic for you, but if we need to go there, just keep in mind we will not be using the Greek alphabet. Some of that Greek alphabet was a bit challenging, very unfamiliar for some of us. So that's a tropics update for you. Here locally, again, even those teeny tiny showers that I showed you on radar at the news at 5 are gone. No rain out there. We've got a mix of cloud cover, a bit more down to the southeast of San Antonio, but here in town we're seeing a decent amount of sunshine. There are a few storms going in far west Texas, closer to the Big Bend region up to I-20 and then up into the Panhandle. We've got a nice swirl here in our satellite and radar. Switching over to the water vapor imagery, much easier to see this counterclockwise swirl. That was our rainmaker from earlier today. It is going to take a jog to the northeast tonight and tomorrow, and that takes a lot of the decent rain-making energy with it. So as we head into tomorrow afternoon, a low chance for some isolated rain. A shower, a quick rumble of thunder will be possible, but most of us miss out on rain Saturday. By Sunday, there will actually be a very weak frontal boundary moving in. This is going to pull in some drier air for us. You may notice it by Sunday evening, but you'll likely really notice it as we get into Monday and then for a good portion of next week. That weak front won't do really anything for our temperatures, but it will bring back some drier air for next week. So we do have that to look forward to. Currently 82 at the airport, 79 New Braunfels. We'll see our temperatures drop into the low 70s overnight. Partly to mostly cloudy skies again on Saturday with again a low chance for an afternoon shower or storm. And then look at next week. It will be warm in the afternoons, but very comfortable with drier air and plenty of sun. Guys.
Sounds good. Thank you, Katie.
We'll be right back. A possible breakthrough in treating patients with the coronavirus. Drug maker Merck says it has created an oral antiviral medication that cuts the risk of hospitalization or death from COVID-19 by half. According to the company, only 7.3% of patients who got the pill were hospitalized or died through day 29, compared with 14% of patients treated with a placebo. Merck planning to apply to the Food and Drug Administration for emergency use authorization as soon as possible. If authorized, it could be the first oral antiviral for COVID-19.
Food stamp recipients will see their monthly payments go up this month due to a major update to that program. Benefits will jump an average of 27% above pre-pandemic levels. It's the largest increase in the program's history. The update comes as part of a U.S. Department of Agriculture review of the food stamp program as required under the 2018 Farm Bill. More than 42.3 million people were enrolled in the food stamp program in June. That's up from nearly 37 million in February of 2020. We'll be right back.
Okay, watching some delays here on Loop 1604 on the northeast side. Had a crash earlier there at Nacogdoches Road, so you see traffic down to about 7 miles per hour on that stretch, so watch out for that if you're heading out on this Friday evening. Also looking at some delays still on 35 southbound coming out of New Braunfels, 27 minutes from New Braunfels to Loop 410. And here is Loop 1604 at Babcock. Things looking fine now, but again, we have some alternating closures tonight because of construction beginning in a couple of hours. Katie.
Thank you, Samuel. Mid to upper 80s this weekend. A low shot at rain again tomorrow. And then we'll see some drier air move in late Sunday. You'll really notice it by Monday of next week. Plenty of sunshine and some drier air will carry us through the entirety of next week. Looking really good. Still warm, though, with highs near 90. Guys.
All right. Thank you, Katie. And thanks for watching the news at 6.
We'll see you back here on the Night Beat at 10.